You are listening to Life Transitions with Coach Robin during our Strategy Grind Zone segment. We're having a powerful conversation with who I'm calling the Queen Strategist, Annice. This segment is sponsored by Woman to Woman Impartation 2018 Empowerment Side Piece No More Chronicles coming to a city near you. Please find the information at Eventbrite and also via all social media outlets. Ooh, we have learned so much during this conversation. She has talked about the differences between entrepreneurship and innovation. I need you guys to grab your pen and your pad, and again, begin your comfy seat and comfy zone, because we're going to continue our conversation with our Queen Strategist. And I want your heart, I want your mind to be open to receive the nuggets that she is really giving to us today.
Hustle, like that was my middle name. Grind and hustle, that was my middle name. And so when I started to come out of that, I understood that entrepreneur, that business owner, I needed to always, even there's a difference between being a business owner and being an entrepreneur. One is innovation and one is just duplicating the process, right? So a small business. I do hair. I'm a cosmetologist, right? And I work for Smart Cuts or whatever it's called. I work for a place where I have a chair and I get a paycheck and all that kind of stuff. So a small business owner, I open my own shop. So I just duplicate.
Exactly.
You get into entrepreneurship when you begin to develop your own product line. When you begin to create and innovate, that's when you get into the modality of an entrepreneur. There's nothing wrong with small business, because that's the thing. At least you are writing your own name on your own check. You're setting your own price standards. If you do it for somebody else, you can do it for yourself, right? So,
exactly.
Right. As I started coming out of, all of that and, searching for what I wanted to do in my, mid-20s is when I fell into school. And I say that I fell into school. I kept going. And so I started opening businesses. At first I was a wardrobe stylist, and then I went to, selling, earrings, and because I wanted to have a boutique, so I thought. So I had a mobile boutique.
Exactly.
Right? I had a mobile boutique. So I took $1,000 from my tax money, and that's what I used to buy merchandise. Why? Because I did not want to take any income or money that was already in the household, so I took what was extra because I knew that this was an experiment. Will I really like it?
Exactly,
Do I really want this as bad as I want it, right? As bad as I say I want it. Do I even understand what it entails? Owning something so I'm going to have goods attached to it, right? And so even though I didn't have the overhead because I was mobile, I still was losing so much money. And so I gave myself 8 months. And if I didn't hit certain targets, so I had a target of happiness. Am I happy when I'm driving around the city of Atlanta in traffic? Do I feel that this is worth it, right? Because how I show up to my customer, right, is almost, if not more valuable,
it's important.
than the services and the merchandise I'm giving them. They know they know when you're frustrated. They know when you're short with them, when you're, hiking up prices because you just really don't want to be. They know it. So I had all of these benchmarks. Return on money, right? I invested $1,000. So in 8 months, I was looking for a particular dollar sign, a particular amount of money, and then how much inventory. In 8 months, I wanted there to be a certain amount of inventory, and I didn't want any leftover inventory from month number 1. And so when month number 7 came and I still had inventory from month number 1, I knew my time frame for my exit strategy was upon me. So either I had to I had to make up my mind, or it was time to close it out.
Wow. Well, you know what, you're saying something that is really it's a motivating aspect of insight. I say this because typically people are very discouraged when they try. Try this and, oh, God, it didn't do this, and you tried that and it didn't do that. But what I'm hearing in the underlining of what you're telling me is, and often 90% of the time, you need to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
Those things that are like at the edge of your, you're burning, you want to try this. Because I believe, now I may be crazy, I believe in everything that you try. God, for those that we are believers and we know God said our steps are ordered. It's something about, even if that's not the ultimate stay-all career thing, there's something to be learned in that lesson.
Yes.
So we got to change our perspective. And it goes back to talking about that grind, because it's something God is putting in you, that tenacity or whatever it is that you're learning about yourself. You would never have known if you didn't step out and say, okay, for instance, somebody who is good at sales may not be wanting to sell vacuums, but there's still the sales, that sales desire is there. Maybe they didn't do good at the vacuum store. It doesn't mean that God doesn't have that capacity to use that capacity that's in them. And that vacuum store may have just been a platform to kind of fine-tune what was in them. I think we got to change our perspective of what we feel like is failure. When it's not failure, it's steps to where you're going.
Can I say that?
If I'm making sense?
Yes. So can I say
like
this?
Steps.
Yes, you're excited, Martin. So I'm going to say this, and so if you're out there taking notes, this is a really good time to pull out and start writing this down, because we don't hear this a whole lot. And so this is what we're talking about prayer strategy. Number one, we feel disappointed because our faith was in an outcome.
Wow.
We started a business and we assumed the reason why God called us to this business was financial freedom or to become a millionaire. Who told you that?
Exactly.
The outcome to God, success to the Father, was he needed to get some character in you and to get some character out of you. Because when you reach the gate, you need to occupy the seat forever. God is into legacy. He is not into start and stop. And so he's going to get the start and the stop out of you before you reach what you're supposed to do. And so what does this look like? God told me, I get this a lot, God told me, to start a blog, and I did a blog before, and I only had 2 followers. And here's the thing, because you were tied to the outcome and not to obedience. You laid the blog down. And God said, well, then I can't trust you. Because what you didn't understand was one of those 2 was a multimillionaire. That's what you didn't understand.
Wow.
That's what you didn't see. And so I need you to be obedient and to get your eyes off the outcome that is external, and get your eyes on the obedience of the eternal. And so we get all discombobulated and crazy, and we feel, a dream deferred makes the heart sick. I can't believe God told me to write this book, and only two people bought it. Because you were out there saying you were a New York Times bestseller. Here's the thing. If God knows my name, I don't need to be a household name.
Exactly.
I'm tied to obedience, not outcome. And so I wrote a book, right? I released a book. I'm releasing a skincare line like this week as we're, and here's the thing. If 2.5 people buy the book, I was obedient. And so here's the thing. Now,
that's right.
Now I can release to you volumes of books because I know you're going to write.
Wow.
I'm going to release to you the investment. And so, what I didn't say when I had the inventory and I had the merchandise, what I didn't say is I got slapped with a sales and use tax so much. I lost so much money because of the sales and use tax report I just wouldn't turn in because I was so busy. And so the Father was saying to me, dear heart, you don't pay attention to your flocks and your herds. And so while I'm giving you a profit, you're eating it up. There's holes in your pocket because of laziness.
Wow.
So if I give you $1 million, you're going to lose 900,000.
Oh, wow. Come on.
And so God has to get the kinks out of us because the gifts and the callings are perfection, and we are not.
Exactly.
And so he's saying here's the thing. There's another project I was working on, and this project is in the tubes as of today. I got taken. I lost some money, right? But here's the thing. The Father has said, what I learned out of this is he sat with me, and he said, I was angry. I rarely get angry. I'm always joking. I was angry. I was hurt. I felt all of these things. And so I sat in the seat, and I said to the Father, why do I feel like this? Why am I so angry? And as an intercessor, the Father said to me, he said, that's how I feel. When somebody who belongs to me preach, somebody else who belongs to me like this. I can't stand it when you don't swear to your own hurt. I can't stand it when you take advantage of people. I can't stand it because you don't know what the other person had to fight through to get to this place, and then you're going to bamboozle them. Then you're going to walk away from them. Then you're going to drop them. And so they take it as, I wasn't supposed to do this. They take it as, I didn't hear from God. And now they're pushed back.
Wow.
I need you to feel this. I need you to sit in this because when you say you're going to show up, baby, I need you to show up every single time on time. I need you to feel this.
On time, on purpose. That goes, and it's funny. It makes awesome. It's so funny. It goes back to when God said, look up the word grind, and it says grind is to sharpen something.
Yes.
We take on the world's perspective on words.
Yes.
We take on the world's perspective on how things are done, but we forget we are in the world, but we're not of the world.
Okay. Right.
God is saying he is sharpening us. Mm-hmm. The grind is to sharpen us, not to kill us.
Yes.
Not to kill us. He says his plan for us is not of evil.
Yes.
So it's amazing as you're talking, you're just stirring me up because the grind, the part of the process, is not to kill us. God is really sharpening us. Like you said, so we won't get millions and then waste 900,000 of it.
Right.
Or, do all these things that are going to be ineffective.
Yes.
Or if like you just got finished saying, be what we say we're going to be. Do what we say we're going to do.
And we have
be held accountable.
Right. And a lot of times we have, if you're not coachable, right? When we say, well, I ain't going to work for nobody. I don't work for nobody. Yes, you do. You work for your customer.
Exactly.
Are you submitted to your customer? Are you submitted? To the needs of your client?
Exactly.
Right? And so when we become uncoachable and unteachable and we don't listen to nobody or we don't take in any suggestions, this is what I always say too, for everybody out there that has a prophetic word. Everybody out there, you have a prophetic word in your life.
Wow. We've been having this awesome conversation with the Queen of Strategy during our Strategy Grind Zone segment. That prayer strategist, the Queen herself, Annice, is our special guest. And guys, don't worry, this is only part 1. We will finish part 2 on how to create a strategy and grind through prayer during transition. My God, guys, I'm telling you, thank you so much for listening in. I can guarantee you that you were able to get some nuggets because it's been many nuggets that she laid and given to us. Family, you can find me on Twitter at Coach Robin J, Instagram at Live with Coach Robin, Facebook at Live Radio Life Transition with Coach Robin. Email me, guys, at coachrobinj@gmail.com. Let me leave you with Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you. You guys, see you next Sunday. Be blessed. You are listening to Life Transitions with Coach Robin.